We knew something was wrong when they took her from my womb. The delivery was devastating. It was horrible. And every mother that has a child with this disease will tell you that their delivery was devastating and horrible. I just remember this complete silence in the room. My husband was here, and I remember asking if she had all her toes and feet and fingers, and the doctor didn't say anything. It was just complete silence.
While baby Samantha had all her fingers and toes, some parts of her body had no skin at all. Other parts were badly blistered and bloody. A dermatologist was immediately called in.
I remember meeting her and asking her, what do you think is wrong? And just very casually, she said those words.
Which words?
Epidermolysis bullosa.
Say it again.
Epidermolysis bullosa. And I was like, that sounded French to me. That sounded like another language. I'd never heard that before. I wasn't quite sure what she was talking about.
Thus began the Sheridan family's difficult, frustrating journey to find out more about this little-known disease and how to help their baby survive it. A journey that just about every family of an EB infant faces, and one which this video will attempt to change.
I think that the illness is so overwhelming, it's so horrific to think about, it's so horrific to see. No one wants to know that kind of suffering. And so you don't hear about it that often. But once you do, you have to get involved.
I want to help. I want to help in a big way. It's a sad thing, obviously, that these children are afflicted with this condition. Being very fortunate to have healthy kids, it strikes home.
That's why I'm here today, is to put my energy forward to help these young children and see if we can bring some awareness, bring some attention to it, and make their lives a little more comfortable than what they have right now.
An estimated 2 in every 100,000 infants in this country are born with EB. Few nurses and doctors have heard of it, have seen it, and know how to treat it. Epidermolysis bullosa, or Epidermolysis bullosa, EB, is the name given to a group of inherited disorders in which the skin and mucous membranes are so fragile that the slightest touch can cause painful blistering. There are 3 major forms of EB: simplex, the mildest form; recessive dystrophic, one of the most severe forms; and junctional dystrophic EB, almost always fatal by the age of 1. It can hit any family where the parents unknowingly carry the gene. EB children learn early on that touch can hurt. Even gentle touch can cause a blister, can remove skin.
It's so hard because, they tell you in the beginning that you can't hold your children and that you can't hug them. And I was like, forget that. I'm hugging her and loving on her and holding her, and she got lap colic because I wouldn't let her go. I was just going to be doing the complete opposite. And yes, she does get boo-boos sometimes because I touch her and love on her.
In its most severe forms, patients have open sores and blisters that heal slowly and sometimes never heal. The continuous blistering leads to scarring that causes disfigurement. Fingers and toes become fused together, arms and legs immobilized. Blisters in the esophagus and throat make eating difficult, and many suffer malnutrition. Blisters on the feet make walking so painful, many patients are confined to wheelchairs.
At any given time, her body is an open wound from her neck down. Maybe 40% of her body has little spots of where a blister was, and then the skin came off and it became an open wound.
Caring for someone with EB isn't easy, as Mary Beth Sheridan soon found out. Every day the wounds must be thoroughly cleaned. Bath time can be traumatic for everyone involved. The pain of water hitting open wounds is so overwhelming that 4-year-old Samantha requires strong pain medication to get through it. At times, even morphine doesn't work. But the baths are essential to help reduce the risk of infection. Each day starts with a several-hour process in which new blisters and recurrent ones are lanced, drained, and the skin bandaged. This too is a painful process, but one which Samantha faces bravely and even helps with when she's feeling strong enough. The end of the day can bring several more hours of undoing and redoing the bandages to make sure the wounds are clean. Because few people are aware of EB, going out in public is difficult. Misconceptions abound.
We actually had people that would follow us around, stare, point, oh, what happened to that baby? Oh, I bet those parents beat that baby, or, you know, how could they bring that baby in here with knowing that other people could catch something, and they'll go up to her and they'll say, what happened to you? You know, and I'm sitting here going, you know what, Sam, nothing happened to you, honey. You know what, you're very beautiful. It's just these people, they just don't understand. When they see a bandage on somebody, they think that you got hurt, and they want to know how you got hurt.
If possible, Mary Beth will explain that her daughter has an inherited skin disorder, but scientists are working on a better answer, the specific cause of EB. They're trying to find out the exact reason for the genetic defect and how to correct it. At present, we know EB children inherit an altered gene from one or both parents. Molecular biologist Dr. Angela Cristiano.
At this point, there's no method for prevention and also no method for curing EB. So when a child is born unaffected, it's just a matter of maintenance care for that child. At present, there's nothing we can do to reverse the effects of EB.
More than 100,000 Americans, mostly children, have EB. In the more severe forms, the fatality rate with this disease is high, and few EB children make it into their 30s. Skin cancer and malnutrition are among their biggest enemies. Jennifer DePrizio is 20, a junior in a homebound high school program. Although her illness has delayed her education, she makes it clear EB may affect your appearance, but it doesn't damage your mind.
I love computers, and I'm really good on them. And I can, even with my hands like this, I can type really fast.
And it's most cruel because their mental intelligence and developmental function is perfectly normal. In fact, these children are usually much more mature than their peers because of everything they've dealt with.
Jennifer is preparing for the future and hopes to get a job working with burn patients who have similar skin damage, showing them how to wrap their bandages and care for their skin.
I know that when people hire, they look at my disability, but I can do more than they think I can.
Because of her age, Jennifer's more aware than the younger children of how people react to the bandages and blisters. But that doesn't keep her out of restaurants and other public places. She'll talk to anyone about EB and welcomes the opportunity to increase awareness by handing out informational cards. But sometimes Jennifer gets frustrated by curious strangers who say the wrong things.
She goes, what happened to you, you know? And I said, I was born with a skin problem, you know, EB, and she says, well, I hope it gets better. And that kind of makes me mad when people say that, because I know it's not going to get better. It's going to take a cure to get better.
9-year-old Angel Abbott is also outspoken about EB and already knows how to deal with the stares from strangers. Her mother, Diane Abbott, began working on Angel's self-esteem years ago.
We put her in front of a mirror a lot, gave her lots and lots of jewelry, which she still loves jewelry, gave her a big mirror in her room just to look at herself so that she would know what she looks like, what other people are looking at, but at the same time, how do you handle when people look at you? What do you say to people?
When they're just standing there, just looking and smiling, I say, hi, my name's Angel.
One group that is helping children like Angel is the National EB Support Group called Debra, short for Dystrophic Epidermolysis Bullosa Research Association. Based in New York, this group is dedicated to promoting awareness, public education, fundraising, supporting family services, and ultimately supporting research for a cure. Right now, for all these children and their families, their only hope lies in research. Dr. Cristiano was part of a pioneering team at Jefferson Medical that discovered the gene that causes the most severe form of EB. This was an important step toward a cure through gene therapy. Still, a cure can't come fast enough for the Sheridan family.
For me personally, I want a cure, and I want it fast because we have a clock ticking. And I'm not going to do well when that clock stops. So I want a cure now.
And our scientists are firmly convinced that we will see a cure, and it will happen, and it will happen soon. We just need to make sure that they have the right resources so they can get the job done.
If we can help, if that people can bring awareness to this and help them go through a normal day a little bit easier, I think they would appreciate it very much.